What's going on, everybody? This is Clint from the Diehard MMA podcast. This is odds.com. This video was filmed exclusively for odds.com. We break down UFC 257, Dustin Poirier versus Conor McGregor, with special guest, the UFC's own Brian Boom Kelleher, helping us out on the podcast. It's a great episode. Make sure you check it out. Hit the link below. Head on over to odds.com.
All right, man. Co-main event time. We've got Dan, the Hangman Hooker, welcoming Michael Chandler to the UFC. One of Bellator's biggest prospects finally making his way over. We've got kind of a little mini tournament here at the top end of UFC 257 with Khabib's words kind of hanging over the whole thing. If he's impressed by somebody, he might come back for that 30th fight. And, I got to stop my rant right there. My boy Connor Mac picks here in the chat, Clint in jiu-jitsu tournaments. What? Buddy, let me tell you, just for exact times, like I keep him sitting right next to the camera.
Gold medals, baby. Where's Cejudo
at? There's my triple C. No, you know what? It's funny, actually. I was going to pitch the idea. I would love to have someone like yourself or like Cejudo, after COVID's all said and done, get with me. Because all those, we're totally tangenting here. I apologize. All the couch jockeys out there that are like, oh, man, these guys weigh 125 pounds. I'd kick their ass. I'm like, okay. I am 6 foot tall. I weigh 225 pounds. I've been an athlete my entire life. I want someone to set up a camera and have a grappling match with like someone like you or somebody like Cejudo and be like, watch how well you would do. Like, I've got an athletic background, and I know I'm about to get my ass kicked, but it would make some good content. It would be funny for people out there to see exactly what the difference between a normal human and a UFC fighter is.
Yeah, man. I know. It's funny how people think like that, but like we'll put the pace on them and we'll take advantage of that, the cardio aspect of things. And I like training with bigger guys for that. You got to deal with a strength disadvantage for sure, but then you could put that pace on them and tire them out, and then it kind of evens things out.
Absolutely, man. I can't tell you the amount of times I got my ass kicked in the gym by guys that weighed 100 pounds less than me. It happened on a regular basis.
Yeah, the problem is when you're dealing with a heavier guy that's also, a high-level fighter or a black belt in jiu-jitsu. Now, it makes a big difference.
Big time. And we're sitting at 321 live viewers. We're about to break down the co-main event. And boom, just got to give you a quick little update. It's 1-0 Islanders deep in the third period, baby.
Let's go, baby.
Here we go. I've been monitoring it. I've got it up over here on my screen. I bet the Islanders today.
Oh, so did I, man. I'm not going to lie. I got my phone down here looking at the score. I didn't even see it, though.
There we go. All right. Back at it here. Dan the Hangman Hooker taking on Michael Chandler. So this is a fight where, man, so much has been made of Michael Chandler coming over to the UFC. He opens up a plus 120 underdog. They're even money. This line might even flip here in the next couple of days. Tons of money pouring in on Chandler. It seems like the UFC is really looking for the opportunity to push this guy. And then you've got Dan Hooker, the guy that's just been, he kind of came out of nowhere. He was down at 145, made the move to 155 after that life-changing fight that he had with Edson Barboza, and he's looked like a killer at 155 until he ran into Dustin Poirier. So that Dustin fight was back in June. I think he's had enough time off to, have his brain not be rattled anymore or anything like that. He's going to have a huge height and reach advantage in this fight, and that's something that I think is so, so important here. Dan knows how to use that height and reach. I think it's going to be a problem for Michael Chandler. I feel like Chandler is getting all this love from the machine. You know what I mean? They're pushing this guy. They're hyping him up. They're getting him ready to go. But Michael Chandler, he's been knocked out 3 times. And now he's taking on Dan Hooker, who can throw a knee up the middle and crack you right in the jaw at a split second's notice. Just went 25 minutes with Dustin Poirier. Didn't give an inch. Only been taken out by strikes 1 time against Edson Barboza when he took a spinning liver kick. Like, I think people are disregarding Dan Hooker here, man. How do you feel?
You're not finishing Dan Hooker. You know what I mean? The guy's been in
Yeah.
wars. He's one of the most durable guys out there. And like you said, with the height and reach, I think Chandler is going to look to try to get inside and get close to Hooker. And that's where those knees are even more dangerous. And he gets them up. Like, it's crazy how high he gets those knees up. Like, usually it's like, guys throw a clinch knees to the body, but he hikes that knee up to the head like real quick. And it's definitely one of his biggest weapons. And I feel like it's going to be a problem for Chandler. Chandler's going to have that one punch power advantage where he could probably land a hard right hand and hurt Hooker and maybe finish the fight from there. But overall, I love the fight. I think it's a great gauge to see where Chandler is right now. At first, they were going to give him that instant, like, here you go, we're going to put you in a title fight right away as the backup. It's kind of weird. But now he's got to deal with Hooker and kind of work his way back to that spot. And Hooker's like, hey, man, if this is the guy that you're trying to give the next shot, like I'm trying to steal that spot. And I think that's a lot of motivation for him in this fight. Length, reach, durability. He has all those advantages. And he's got dangerous chokes too. If Chandler tries to wrestle, he'll latch onto a guillotine or some kind of choke. Not an easy guy to take down either. So a lot of these factors, I lean towards Hooker. I feel like the fight will probably go the distance, 3 rounds, right?
Yep, 3-round co-main event.
Yeah, I could see the fight going the distance. I think it's going to be a pretty savage fight, back and forth, a lot of damage taken. But I could see Hooker just landing more and taking away with the win there. I think decision for Hooker.
You know what? I'm kind of seeing a knockout myself, but I think we're on the same side here. I think Hooker's going to be able to do more. That knee up the middle, I think, is going to make a huge difference. And I'm glad you mentioned the grappling because Hooker is no slouch on the ground. This guy has some nasty chokes. He's got 10 wins by knockout, 7 by submission. So we think of him as this striker. We think of him as this knockout artist. He's got damn near as many submissions as he does knockouts. So very, very much a dual threat. And if this thing hits the floor at any point, I can see him wrapping up Chandler's neck. And I just think Hooker has more ways to win. He's younger, he's taller, he's longer. I don't understand why this line is where it's at. And I'm going to be patient. Because the money is coming in right now on Chandler. We could take -120 very comfortably right now on Hooker. I'm fine with that line. I'd bet it right now. But if they push Hooker to being the underdog, I am all about it. Give me even money on Dan Hooker, and I'm there all day.
Hey, and this is a huge chance to earn that Conor sweepstakes fight. If Conor wins and you beat Chandler, like you call for that Conor fight, and that's that big money payday. So a lot of factors here in this little mini tournament going on. I think that's motivating for Hooker for sure because
absolutely,
a lot of people are kind of like, oh, they're bringing Hooker in for Chandler to kind of beat and move up, but the real people know, how dangerous Hooker really is. And I think stylistically, it's not an easy fight for Chandler at all.
I agree. I couldn't agree more. And I just love those city kickboxing boys, man. That's a gym that I love to ride. They are so hot and they do everything so well. I've been a backer of Dan Hooker a lot, and I think I'm going back to the well.
Yeah, I don't blame you, man. They got a lot of savages over there. Great coaching staff as well.